Hey, Loco Sports fans. Welcome to a Wednesday night edition of the Loco Sports Lowdown. I'm getting started a few minutes later than we anticipated. Been on the go for me. Got home from school. We had softball practice, and then there was a scavenger hunt. My debit card wasn't working at the ATMs. I tried multiple, but I had to get some cash because I had to get in the drawing to be a billionaire. My wife gave me instructions to not come home without those Powerball tickets, but I had to come home and get $20 out of my kid's fat stack in his sock drawer and go get the Powerball tickets. So, if all goes well, Loco
All
Sports
goes
will
well. We won't
really
see you.
launch
We won't see you
tomorrow.
starting next week, so we'll
Yeah.
know.
Loco Sports will really launch tomorrow. We'll have fun. We'll be fully funded. But no, been a crazy day. I'm kind of running on fumes, but excited about the show because you lined up a great guest for us tonight. We got Gary Boughton, the new soccer coach for the USCB women, and they're going to start their season tomorrow with our own Wes Kerr on the call. So definitely looking forward to that, and just hearing you and Gary chatting about soccer when I jumped in. He was already full go in the dress rehearsal. He's excited, you can tell too. So going to be great to talk with him and get to know him. Crazy to think this is only the third head coach, right?
Yes.
In
Yeah.
USCB soccer history. So,
Yeah.
and
Although,
I go way
yeah,
back
yeah,
with
we
the
had
first one,
Dan
Ed
Huff was
Heatherly.
interim, but
Right.
this is
Yeah.
the third.
Officially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
third.
True. So,
True, full-fledged head coach. Yeah. Yep.
yeah, so there's a through line
Yep.
there,
Yep.
through ball. But yeah, looking forward to that. We'll probably chat a little football. We'll have full on previews tomorrow night,
Yep.
but
Got
we'll probably
rankings
start
unveiled
wetting our
yesterday.
whistle.
High school league. We'll get
Yeah,
to
we'll get
and
through those. I think there
other
were a couple other
points.
things that
Any
we'll
news?
deal with in due time. But
Yep.
yeah, should be a good show tonight. Presented by Mickelson Law Firm, our original sponsor, our all-star sponsor. They've been with us since the beginning, and they are our official real estate closing attorney, presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. And then our newest all-star sponsor, WHHI TV, our partners and local sports coverage. Looking forward to being a part of their broadcast this year, and they kick it off Friday night with Ridgeland hosting Whale Branch, and which should be an interesting game. I'm looking forward to seeing how that one goes. Should find out a lot about both those teams. But how was your day, man? I was hopping, but you busy today?
Yeah. Pretty busy throughout the day. And I got to go for a walk. I love going for a walk this time of year when it starts to cool off in the early evening. It starts to really feel like fall and football weather, and I'm excited to get out there. It's going to get a little bit warmer this weekend, from what I've heard, but still,
Yeah, it's
the
gonna
evening
heat
should
up.
be nice to catch some Friday night football action. Thankfully, no inclement weather in the forecast. It looks like Hilton had perhaps finally get their first full game of the season in, despite anything unforeseen. They will be on the road this week, but it's looking like it's going to be a great weekend. I'm planning on going to the Bluffton Savannah Country Day game, which should be a really fun
Yeah,
one over there. Exciting start for what Bluffton has done, and this will be a tough one for the Bobcats, but one I think they definitely can win. So that should be exciting. A lot of some other nice. I mean, actually, it seems like we have a lot of teams on the road this week for whatever reason, but still a couple of intriguing ones around here in the Loco.
yeah, there are. It is kind of an odd schedule this week. It feels like it doesn't feel like quite as heavy on the loco games and the games in our
Yeah,
market,
well,
so to
that's
speak.
typical
Um,
early season. You're not going to get
yeah,
every week.
right.
That's the way it goes. But
Yeah, but it's still not a bad slate. There's
yeah,
there's some good
we
games
still
on
have
there,
obviously got
and
Ridge and Whale Branch. I think we have another. We got Buford Academy PHA, although that one should be most likely one sided towards Buford Academy. But
yeah,
I'm excited for Marcus Walsh to be able to call that
that's
Ridge and
it
Whale
for
Branch game, which
the
I think could be
locos,
interesting.
double locos. That's it. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
why
it.
it's a funky schedule. And a lot of the home games are some of the further flung schools, so to speak, for
Yeah,
us, Colleton and Thomas Hayward. So
right.
yeah, it's just kind of a funky schedule, but we'll all find games to check out, and
Yep. And we'll get
we'll
into those previews tomorrow on
yeah,
our
absolutely.
Thursday show.
Absolutely. But tonight we're talking football,
Football.
not football Americano, but the original game. And we've got the newest head coach, as we mentioned, the third head coach officially in USCB women's soccer history. Gary Boughton joins us now on the lowdown. What's going on, Coach?
Hey guys, happy to be here.
Yeah, man, happy to have you and welcome to the Loco. You've been here for a little while now, been building your roster and getting acclimated on campus and now getting them ready. And here we are on the eve of the season. And like I said in the open, I can tell that you are jacked up, and I know the
Yeah,
whole team has to be. So, just tell us about the vibes that you take into to opening day.
yeah, vibes are high, man. That's one way to put it. The team's excited. We've been working kind of towards this day since I got here in the spring. Just kind of implementing maybe a little bit different style of play than previous teams have had. But we've been at it for a couple of weeks now, and it's always you always hear the stories about training camp, right? Now they're ready to go play against somebody else. And
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
that's kind of where we're at. It's been some tough, hardworking. We got a really hardworking group, which is easy for a coach to manage. And so I think tomorrow is a day that we've been kind of itching to get to. And for me, it's like day one, game one, I don't want to say nervous energy, but that just angst, like get me to the side, like
It's
get me to kick off and like let's
Yeah.
go.
yeah. Those
Yeah.
jitters are normal, and even the best
Yeah.
players, the best coaches
Anxious.
have them on the
Oh
eve of
yeah,
opening day or opening night, and
Oh
that's
yeah. Oh
that's
man.
what you want.
Even
You want to have that adrenaline pumping in when you walk out to the pitch for the first time this year, and I cannot wait to get out there tomorrow to see you guys take on Chowan to start the season. 1 o'clock kickoff at Finland Field. But Coach, tell me more about yourself, your background, your time coaching so far, and why you decided to join USCB.
yeah. Phew. I mean, I've always said like I work really hard, but it's not hard work. I'm
right.
lucky to get up every day and do sports.
Amen.
Yeah. So for me, this is now my third head coaching position, first at the Division II level. And really what brought me here, I think, aside from the location and the desire for my wife to move to this location and our 1-year-old son to grow up around here in this beautiful place, was just that I thought all of the infrastructure at USCB is in place for us to elevate our women's soccer program into one of the premier programs really in Division II soccer.
Yeah.
We play in one of the top conferences where if you finish in the top half, the top four, you're looking at competing in the NCAA tournament.
Right.
We feel that our campus, our community, our location, our education programs, all of these things I see are components to draw and attract the top student athletes to the Lowcountry to come here and represent USCB. My goal my vision really is to be the premier Division II program in South Carolina. And
Yeah.
that's what we aim to start
And
building
and
upon.
and following up on that, this is a special year for USCB. It's always exciting to get that first game underway in a season, but especially this year because this is the first event on the soccer pitch, really, in a normal team sport for USCB is full-fledged Division II members. So another like a historic moment alongside this first kickoff. So, I mean, how excited are you to not only start the season, but to usher in this new era for USCB and the excitement of having that first opportunity to accomplish a goal of competing to get in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of Wes just even magnified it a little bit more
Yeah.
for me. We've been talking institutionally, and going through this process and finally getting granted D2 membership fully this summer. I mean, we had a little event on campus today to celebrate it. Yeah, I kind of, being the fall sport and you're kicking off the season really, but
Mhm.
tomorrow really is like, hey, we are tournament eligible. We are
Yeah.
championship eligible.
Yeah.
And I think it would be just an unbelievable accomplishment if we were able to work towards and achieve in year one making the NCAA tournament. And I don't think that it's a far-fetched goal for us to have either. I think we've got a talented group, and the Peach Belt, like, it's so competitive that, if we do some of the things we set out to do, if we kind of trust in the process and continue to grow from, where we are in the preseason through October, uh, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities that a couple of good wins in conference put us in line for one of those bids.
Well, yeah, I mean, all you got to, the margins are so thin in your sport, I mean, you just, one bounce goes your way, and it's the difference between winning and losing sometimes. And all you got to do is flip a couple of those results. And like you said, you sneak in the top half of the conference, you got a shot to get in the tournament. And then you've got a chance to get more quality wins in the Peach tournament as well. So and iron sharpens iron. So by the time you
Yeah.
get there, you're going to feel like you're ready to compete with anybody in the country. So but no, going back to your background a little bit, you mentioned this is your first stop at D2. You played D3 soccer, you've coached D3. What and maybe this will be a little more inside baseball for maybe some of the student athletes who watch us and are interested in different levels that they may play at. But what are some of the differences, if there are many, from your end between D3 and D2? I mean, obviously we know athletic scholarships are involved, but that doesn't really impact, your day to day that much, I wouldn't think.
Yeah. From the coaching standpoint, you want to build a roster of talented athletes.
Right.
I think the if you look at the top tier of Division III institutions in any sport,
Yeah.
they're able to compete with some mid-major or low-level Division 1s, compete with Division 2 schools. Uh, it's all relevant. It's I think in Division 3 there's a wide range. There's,
Right.
in some sports 400 schools that are offering
Right.
that sport. The difference between 1 and 400 is going to be greater than, at the Division 2 level between 1 and, let's say, 200, and then
Right.
Division 1 between
A lot
1 and
like, I feel like D3 and NAIA are similar in that way. The top end is really strong. The
yeah.
bottom end is like kids who haven't ever played before, but they needed to fill the roster. And then there's like a really juicy middle. Um, and but there's so many teams,
Yeah.
just so many.
There's a
There's
ton.
so much opportunity out there.
And that's kind
Is
of what I
kind of
was
what
gonna
I was
follow
getting
up
at.
with
Yeah.
is for any kid that wants to make college athletics part of their experience, like there is a place
There is
for
a
it.
place.
There's a team, there's a roster, there's a university that wants you to represent them. For me, like my experience, yeah, I played Division 3 soccer. I was very blessed to be able to turn that into a professional career because I went
Right.
into a program that was a really good fit for me physically and athletically at that time. I was a little bit of an undersized kid coming out of high school, and so the Division 1 schools that were looking at me, and this is 20 years ago when recruiting
Right.
wasn't, it
Pre
was a little bit different.
pre-transfer portal.
Yeah, the schools that were looking at me out of high school at 15, I wasn't built for
Right.
Division 1 athletics, but at 19, 20, I was. And going to one of those premier Division 3 programs allowed me to showcase my abilities at the college level, which turned into the summer ball stuff, which ultimately I was fortunate enough, and I'll tell you, like, I was super talented as a player, but the difference for me was, like, I was the hardest worker on every team that I was going to play for. I was going to win every fitness test. I was going to outwork, and that's kind of what
Yep.
that mentality
Yep.
allowed
That's
me
the
to
secret sauce.
do it to that
Someone's
level.
just working harder than the next guy. The guy on the left, the guy on your right.
Yeah.
Just
So
find the extra gear, and doesn't matter at times. It doesn't matter where you come from. Can you outwork that next player and give yourself the opportunity? And it's really all it comes down to so many times. So great stuff there. But I want to get back to this team that you have in front of you, because tomorrow, of course, opening day. But you guys have had the opportunity to play some exhibitions, to play some scrimmages. A different looking team, a couple of key losses from last year's squad, but a lot returning. Tell me your thoughts, your early thoughts about the returns that you've gotten in terms of preseason, and your thoughts on how this team is gelling together heading into tomorrow.
yeah, I think I've been really happy with the returning players' ability to step up and lead. I think we focused a lot on our team culture and who our identity was going to be in the spring, and all of that was with the returning players that I inherited, and they all were bought into like wanting to have a really positive, hardworking environment, and like they put their money where their mouth is. Like they showed up to camp really fit. They've been positive examples for the new players. I see a lot of potential for a lot of these returning players to kind of come in and step up. Players who might have been more role players. They got minutes last year, mostly off the bench, coming into these opportunities where, hey, not only have players graduated out, but hey, new coach, new set of eyes coming in, making some decisions, and looking at it as an opportunity to take ownership of some of these roles that we're looking for. So, you have the returning players, and I can list them all. Like we're super excited about Cassie Martin, like super talented midfielder. Sophia Willis was all tournament team, absolute workhorse, menace to deal with defense. You have some of those names, but you also have players like I want to throw Jenny Hesby, who's going to be a captain for us, who was kind of in and out a little bit last year, but has really stepped up as a leader for us. She's going to be a critical part of our midfield. We have Anna Wandry coming back from a season absence due to an injury last year, and she has looked the part so far this preseason. I know she was, I think, all freshman team or all conference team as a freshman 2 seasons ago. So like getting her back in the fold is going to be a huge impact for us. But really, I think the most impressive thing and the most helpful thing for me has been just like the veteran buy-in. Like we're playing a bit of a different style than they've done in the past. So just like their willingness to like just work, and like they want to make an impact. They want, now that they have these opportunities, to put their name on these positions where we did have some players that have graduated out. But yeah, the returning players that we have, like, I expect Savannah Page to make a huge impact this year again. So yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned, sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second.
Yeah,
you mentioned the style. Without giving away any state secrets, I don't think anyone from Challenge probably tuning in tonight. But what's kind of your philosophy? How do you play the game?
Yeah, we're gonna be more of a possession-based team. I think it's all kind of relevant to who you're playing against and how you game plan,
Right.
but our identity, we want to keep the ball, we want to move the ball, we want to make teams chase us. Especially at our home field. Like we've got a really wide home field, like that's hard to defend every inch of ground. So we want to make teams have to chase the ball and chase every blade of grass to be able to defend us. The philosophy is kind of, for me, every time we move the ball, the opposition has to move. And if they don't, like, then we're walking in on goal. But so the more times you move the opposition, even if it's 5 yards, 10 yards, the more times that they
Make them
move,
work.
the more opportunities that we have to find those passes that are in behind, find those passes that break lines, make our way into the 18. I think the team, and I'm not somebody who thinks like I know it all about the game, but that's just kind of my style of coaching.
Right.
The team played a more direct style in the past where they like to use the speed that they've had and the players up front to run in behind and run into the channels. Whereas for me, I think we want to build more. We don't want to bypass our midfield. We actually want our midfield to kind of be the heart and soul of the team and dictate the flow of the game. So it's just tweaking it a little bit from being a little less direct, so to speak, and a little bit more pragmatic.
Building from the back instead of the direct kind of football that we've seen with.
Yeah, it sounds like sitting listening to the first head coach, Ed Heberling, when I sat in his office years ago when I was the SID there. He talked a lot like you about the game. He liked to build up through the midfield and possess the ball and make them work. And so I think those things tend to go in ebbs and flows in terms of you typically, when you make a change, you look to kind of shake things up a little bit, do things a little bit differently, and so you kind of go shift back and forth between the regimes, so to speak. But I like the possession style. The direct it's exciting, but it's so frustrating. So frustrating. It's not the beautiful game,
right?
I like
if it doesn't come off, like if you're not getting on the end of the service, you're running forward and then you're running backwards.
It's just so frustrating. Just no payoff. Too much work for no payoff. The juice is not worth the squeeze. But Wes, get in there.
Coach, just looking back on some of these teams from last year, I think you look at the strength being from that back line and players like Kristen Beltestedt, Leah White, Adriana Martin, Molly Kerr, and others who are no longer with the team. Talk about how your back line looks, how your midfield looks after losing a couple of those key players and who has really stepped up, and potentially some players that we could see really shine early on in the year or find that spark to help fill those areas on the field.
Yeah. I mean, you had a pair of center backs that played together for 3 years in Aaliyah and so it's really hard to just replace that. I'm really happy with what we've done so far defensively. I think a lot of what we're losing individually, we're kind of fixing collectively. Our organization, our defensive shape as a unit, as a back line has been able to really keep teams. I would say teams. We had 2 friendly. Like, has really been the reason why we're not conceding a lot of goals in preseason. Adrian Skelton, like, she's going to be a captain for us this year. Played a little bit more as like a defensive midfielder. We've moved her into the back to kind of fill one of those gaps. Just an absolute workhorse, wins her individual battles, great leader. Another one who played almost every position last year, Sammy Ruby. She's another one we've kind of made into a permanent defender. I think she's going to have a great season. I think she's going to surprise some people as to how good of a defender she is. She's super athletic, almost in a sneaky way. Like, you look at her and you're like, okay, there's some size or something, but like nobody beats her for pace. She outmuscles players. Those two are going to be central figures for us. And then we've got players on the wings to get up and down from the back and really cause problems joining the attack. Like, Lauren Carmichael, freshman last year, played almost every game. She'll be somebody who we look to again from that outside back position to not only do the job defensively, but to create numbers up moments for us in the attack as well by bombing forward. So those are some of the players that we're looking for in the back right now with some high expectations. And we've added several players. We've added a couple of transfers in who I think are going to play big roles and big minutes for us in the back. And for them, it's a little bit more getting into the system and things like that. But it's a long season, and I think there will be a handful of them in the mix, especially in the back. As we kind of look into the midfield. It is some familiar faces, that's where we're a little bit more familiar with Anna coming back in there. We've got Cassie in there. We've got Jenny in there. Izzy Amphlett is a player who got some good minutes as a freshman last year from England. She's got some, I think, really high. She's got a really high ceiling, where the expectations for me are really high for her coming in, because I think she's just super talented kid. And if the motivation matches the ability over the season, she's going to score some big goals for us out of the midfield. But the midfield is a little bit more familiar, I think, in terms of like returning players, but players who might not have featured as much in their roles the last season or so. So I think overall collectively, this team is going to be about the collective versus the individuals. I think we have a couple of players that will lead us in scoring, lead us in assists, but I think it'll be kind of close margins, similar to how it's been in the last couple of years, where the scoring is going to be spread out, the assists are going to be spread out, the minutes are going to be a little bit balanced. Where one game, I think that's another thing I like. We have a lot of players that play positions, but play the roles differently, where one might be a little bit more possession based, one might be a little bit more direct, one might be a little bit more defensive, one might be a little bit more attacking, where it gives me the luxury to game plan specifically for opponents, where the lineup might change game to game and player to player. So it's just all I could go on. I don't want to bore your listeners with my, rambling here all night, but I'm super excited for this team and this group.
Yeah, the enthusiasm is evident, to say the least. It's like Christmas Eve for you. You're ready to get after it tomorrow, and even as just like a high school teacher, like Friday morning, like I'm jacked up on game day. So
Yeah.
I totally get it. I feel you. I pop out of bed. I'm not a morning person, but when we have a baseball or softball tournament on Saturday, I pop out of bed ready to go. So
Yep.
definitely got the juices flowing. I was going to ask you about the international recruiting piece. You've got a few kids, like 5, I think, from overseas, and is that something that was something you dealt with at your school? Did you recruit overseas? Is that something that is part of your recruiting strategy, or do you just kind of take it as it comes?
Yeah, it's part of the strategy. I've dealt with international recruiting before. It's definitely growing. Like the game on the women's side in Europe is growing exponentially right now.
Oh man.
And so the players that it's not just men's college soccer now recruiting the international players, but I think that having a handful of international players is a good mix for what we're trying to do. I think it's not going to be our only, like, we're not going to be a pipeline from Europe as a group. But I do like adding the way that they're developed is different than the way that we develop our soccer players here. So when you get that like little bit of diversity in the team, I think it can only be a strength. And like, look, it's a Division II institution. Like we're not offering full rides to every kid on the team like a Power 4 school. So it's not like we can just go bring, an entire squad over from Europe. But the players that, like, we will look for a couple players, a player or two internationally, each year to kind of like the cherry on the top. My philosophy is kind of similar with transfers as well. Like the transfer portal is a crazy place. for me, we want to build the team through recruiting freshmen, and then maybe we add an experienced player we sprinkle them in. We want to sprinkle in some internationals. We want to sprinkle in some transfers. Sometimes there's one and the same. The Division I JUCOs have a lot of international players looking for opportunities, and they're really good players in the Southeast here. And some of these Florida JUCOs and things. That. So we're always going to be looking for no stone unturned, so to speak. We're gonna have an eye on some of the international players, try and bring in 1 or 2 each year. We're gonna have our eye on the transfer portal, try and bring in 1 or 2 each year, and then really build from a core of 4 or 5 freshmen each year to build this thing up.
Yeah, I see that this team has a history of some talent from the Scandinavian area. You brought in a player from Sweden, Malmo, Sweden, who played at UTRGV. That's Bianca Butler, who's now on this team, and a couple other international players, including another player from Manchester, England, or a player there from England that you brought on. So you talked to me about these transfers. Both a couple of international players and others that you brought in to make that extra impact on this team.
Yeah, I think they bring there's a maturity about them, a little bit younger, I think, that like just culture, right? Like they're just kind of on their own, a little bit younger.
And independence.
Yeah.
So to speak. Well, they're also leaving home and going overseas, so like they have to have some independence about them.
Yeah, but it's the way they even carry themselves, like towards practice, towards training. It's a very mature thing, and to be fair, like the Europeans are usually a little bit stronger technically than our players. We see our American players are usually more athletic, bigger, stronger, faster. But the Europeans, it's a little bit more refined technically. And so that's kind of where that blend comes in. I mean, like you see Bianca's passing range and how clean it is. It's just super fun to watch. You see Ava take a ball out of the air off the outside of her foot. Like she was a kid in Manchester City's academy. Like you look at these players, like, okay, there's just a level of, I know it's not above,
Polish.
It's low. It's
Polish.
just it's polished. It's in a great addition to what we have. So I think you look at our group and it is we're heavy juniors and seniors right now, so we should be a mature group. Those seniors, like they're motivated. This is like kind of their last chance, but on top of it, like you sprinkle in like the potential of postseason play for them. So it kind of all comes together in that regard.
Yeah, they're the group that committed to go through the mud to get to this year. So they are heavily motivated to make the most of it. Well, Coach, we've kept you for a long time, so we'll let you get some rest before the big day. Wes, you got anything else for Coach Bauman?
Just about to talk about the opportunity and what you'd like to see from this team opening day tomorrow against.
I mean, we want to be on the front foot early. We're gonna look to bring the energy. One of the things you go over the course of a season, you got to be hard to play at home against. Like you got to be gritty and ugly. And we talk about how we want to be horrible defensively right out of the gate in their face. And I think that if we start the game on the front foot, we start the game with our pedal to the metal and we're going, our team's going to bring the energy. Our girls on the sideline are going to bring the energy. Hopefully we get a good student fan base there to bring the energy, and it's just going to be a downhill slope from there. But, we want to do the things that we've worked on to this point. You talk about the opening day and there's going to be jitters and there's going to be nerves, but if we can maintain that, we're going to play our style. We're going to try and keep the ball. We're going to be dynamic. We're going to be organized defensively. You sprinkle in that opening day energy and hopefully it's a positive result. I think it's easy to look at, years past, but the glorious thing about opening day is everybody's 0-0 tomorrow when we wake up, and we're just trying to go 1-0 each week. This week 1-0. Next week when we have 2 games, we'll want to go 2-0. We want to take it one game at a time, 1 week at a time. But man, am I excited! Am I excited to be here and be leading this group and be a part of Sand Shark Soccer.
Absolutely, man. 1:00 kick tomorrow at Finland Field. If you can't make it out, I will not be able to make it out, but I'll try to remember to put it on in my classroom. Watch some Sand Shark Soccer
Nice.
at the Ville. But thanks so much, Coach. Appreciate it. And again, welcome to the Lowcountry. Welcome aboard USCB, and go get us a result tomorrow, sir.
Let's go, guys. Hey, and shout out to the sponsor Mickelson for helping me close on my new house here.
Oh, nice. They're our official real estate closing attorney. I mean,
figured I'd throw that out there for you guys.
I appreciate that. Good stuff, Coach Gary Boughton. We appreciate you, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck, Coach. Good talking with him. Good dude. I'm excited.
Awesome.
Just hearing how excited he is has me excited.
I'm pumped to get out there tomorrow and see this team compete, because I love the energy that he's already adopting, and just the cohesiveness of this team seems like they're playing with in the preseason, early on in the spring ball. I'm really excited to see what this group can do as they get started. Now, they may have lost a lot. I mean, I went down a couple of names that graduated. Kristen Beltestad, Leah White, 2 backbones of that back line, tremendous defensive abilities. Adriana Martin, Ellie Fielding, Molly Kerr. I mean, it's difficult to replace all those players, but it just seems like I think Boughton's got this group playing well cohesively and together, and they're gonna they're gonna find ways to make big plays out there and shut down some attacks throughout this match. And I just like the way they've been playing as one unit, and I like the philosophy, building up from the back, because a philosophy that's worked very well throughout multiple levels of soccer, and it requires a lot of tremendous teamwork. You have to be on the same page, and it takes everyone to buy in when you have to succeed in that style of play right there. So I think he's adopting it well, and I think these players are really starting to buy in. And I like the point you made just about, like, this is what the seniors and juniors were playing for, this opportunity, because they knew that these first couple of years, I mean, it was a situation where they weren't going to postseason eligible. Now they were able to compete for conference championships, but now they have a chance to take all that and now try and make their mark and get in the NCAA tournament, which I think is certainly a great goal to have, I think, in this first year.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal until you do it, right? I mean, that is the goal. That's the carrot. That's why you made the move. So, we'll see how long it takes them to get there, but I have no doubt that Coach Gary is going to take
I think the fact that we always say football sets the tone. Well, for USCB, it's women's soccer.
Football.
This is the team that sets the tone for the whole year.
Yeah, absolutely. No question about it. And they have a chance to set it with a good start here. I think it sounds like some pretty good favorable matchups early on to maybe be able to get a little momentum rolling into a really tough middle part of the schedule. Palm Beach Atlantic and Rollins are going to be really tough, and then you get into that.
St. Sharks they're finished 8th. In the preseason poll. Columbus State, the defending champs. No surprise there at number 1. North Georgia, Flagler are your top 3. Not too many surprises there. Some tremendous programs over the years. This is a very deep and tough conference, but that's the thing. Iron sharpens iron, like we were saying. Now, if you get some good results early and pick up some, and I'll tell you what, we saw it last year out in the margins where they had 2 games that slipped away. They could have gotten 3 points, and it didn't happen. So you talk about how thin it is in soccer when with one bounce going the other way or one bad pass. It is everyone has to be playing their best at all times, and that's the thing you love about soccer is you never know when that one mistake can go for you or against you. It can punish you quickly. It can be a cruel game, but also very rewarding, and that's what makes it very exciting to cover and to be on the call for. And I really think Coach Bowden is going to do a terrific job with this program, and great, knowledgeable first and foremost, but has that belief and confidence that translates to that entire team, and really rubs off on not only the veteran players but some of the younger freshmen and transfers as well. And I like the nucleus that's being built here, even though they did lose a lot. I mean, it's not going to be like Mari Colvatin where she dominates everyone in terms of scoring. It's going to be a balanced stat sheet at the top. They're going to have different players contribute and score some big goals for this team, and I think that depth is going to be built throughout the year, and you find a way to get a couple of big wins, especially at home. Find a way to battle and compete in the road, and if you finish in that top half of the conference, I think you have a real shot. And of course, what you do in the conference tournament once you get there. So exciting opportunity, and this is going to be a memorable day tomorrow because it is that first event that they are full D2 members for. Obviously, there are some other cross country and other sports and whatnot, but in terms of team sports, this is the first one.
Yeah, this is the one.
Yep.
Which I guess that's why they had the little kickoff
Yeah.
today, where they had I don't know what went down. It was a celebration, but I was invited but unable to attend. So I hope it went well. Sounds like it did, and I'm sure it did. And tomorrow we kick it off. So best of luck to Coach Boughton and the Sand Sharks.
And I hope they get a good turnout. I hope they get some students there. I hope they get other athletes from other sports to come over there.
I mean, they will for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, the kids have only been on campus for a short time. They're starting to get kind of bored. It's going to be a beautiful afternoon. There's no
Yep.
reason not to go over there. And I'm sure that Student Life will have some stuff going on. They always have some kind of giveaways and stuff like that to draw students out. So as much student residence as they have on campus, there should be a lot of people at the soccer game because I believe they get in free. So
Yes.
you gotta let them. I mean, you got to get out there and support the ladies and troll the other team. I mean, that's the most important thing about being a college student is going to the sporting events to troll the other team because you get carte blanche. You're a college student. You can get away with so much that you'll never be able to get away with ever again. You can say things in public right now that you're never going to be able to say in public ever again. So go to the soccer game and troll, please. Keep it clean, but still troll. Make it memorable for everyone. Shout out to a few sponsors. We got Hudson Seafood House on the docks, presenting sponsor of Under the Bus. New episode came out last night, so you can check that out on the Loco Media Network. It's football season, so the boys are fired up, and football season always any time of year, really a great time to get to Hudson Seafood House on the docks. They're a great place for seafood, sunsets, and cocktails on Hilton Head Island. And we are now in the months ending in R, so you can eat the oysters, which I think you can eat the oysters all the time there because they grow their own, but like the months ending in R are the months that you're supposed to eat the oysters.
Yes.
So I don't do the oysters so much. The texture's not for me, but I don't yuck anyone's yum. So you enjoy those oysters.
I'll take.
I enjoy the oyster roast, but I'll probably eat some scramps or something instead.
I'll have some. Yeah, I don't mind oysters. It's a good thing to have on the menu. But I'll tell you what's really good is the Andrews po' boys over there.
Yeah, Andrews style. That's the way to go. But if you like oysters, the best are at Hudson's because they grow their own right there. Hudson Seafood House on the docks. We also got Twenge and Twombly, personal injury attorneys in Beaufort. They've got a rare name, but they provide remarkable service brought to us by our friend Jeff Riley. Twenge and Twombly, personal injury attorneys, and HHI Windows and Doors. Our friend Coach Barron from Hilton Head Prep. He won all the state championships he could win, and now he's improving your view of the Loco at HHI Windows and Doors. Let us know if you'd like to be a sponsor. Info at locosports.com. Get in touch, and we'll get you in the rotation. Wes, what else do you want to talk about tonight? I did just see that the boys volleyball from Hilton Head High won a 5-set thriller over Bridges Prep tonight. Our Hardyville girls got a region win last night, 3-1 over Allendale. So I saw a few volleyball results. I know You had the rankings pulled up, right? High school football
I
rankings.
do. I will pull it up now. But yeah, good for the Seahawks. Great program over there. Both the guys and the girls. They've got some good boys programs around this area now. Very competitive, and they always they always get exciting with so many uh, other athletes and spectators there. It can be maybe a fun atmosphere for those girls and guys volleyball matches. But yeah, I mean, it's great to see the rise of guys volleyball continue. And Bridges Prep has had a nice program. Obviously, the girls got the state title match 2 years ago, and
Yeah,
the guys are starting to play some good volleyball over there as well. And so some exciting. I think region play starts next week for 6-4A.
they're
I
gonna go
assume for most
fast.
other yeah, I assume for most other regions as well. Things are going to get going. I was over at Hilton Head High. I saw the tennis team in action practicing. Tennis should be getting going in terms of
Oh
those
yeah.
matches as well. Um,
Yeah, as a matter of
there's
fact, Colleton County girls tennis with a 4-2 win over Woodland last night. I'm seeing
it's a nice
here, so
victory for the Cougars.
congrats to them.
Yep.
But yeah, you had the football rankings.
Yes.
Wanted to go through those. Not a lot of
We have only
local
one local
representation. Yeah,
representative, and that is Hampton County. Moved up a spot. They were fourth. Now they are up to third. Clinton with the majority of the votes in terms of first place, but Hampton right on the tail of Batesburg Leesville is second, and then the Hurricanes are third. They got one first place vote. That seems about right for them, but I think that they're closing in
yeah,
on Batesburg, Leesville, potentially Flint if they can, especially if they can pick up wins for Bluffton, Hilton Head. They got Silver Bluff for the game they should win this week, but I think it'll be more competitive. And after that, they
yeah.
got Hilton Head and Bluffton back to back.
That's an old rivalry. Wade Hampton and Silver Bluff go way back, and Silver Bluff kind of own that rivalry. But Hampton County, fresh start. They're 1-0 since the merger. So that's a big game for them, though. That's there's some
Yeah, brother.
some
Yeah,
teeth to
yeah,
that rivalry because they were region mates for a long, long time.
so
So that'll be a tough game on the road. I don't think that'll be an easy one at all.
I believe that's at Hampton. I think they're home for that one.
Oh, are they? I thought they were on the
I
road for
can
that
double
one.
check.
Yeah, they are at home. Yeah, you're right. No,
Yeah,
I think they'll handle business, but
yeah,
they'll have to play well. Silver Bluff
yeah.
won't come in and lay down. That's a proud program. They'll give them hell. Should be a pretty good game. But yeah, nobody else was even receiving votes, were they?
Bluffton did receive votes, but
Bluffton got votes.
Hilton
Yeah,
Head, obviously they lost. May River
yeah,
lost. So, but Bluffton is still receiving only 4 teams outside the top 10 receiving votes. That's Midland Valley, Red Crestwood, and Bluffton. Bishop Bingley is sixth, of course, in the same
yeah,
region. South Florence, who really impressed
yeah. They beat
last week.
Somerville.
Yeah, they beat Somerville. Really nice win for the Bruins. Um, of course, their former quarterback Lenora Sellers been balling over at South Carolina. Had a great
Oh yeah.
opening win over
And
Virginia
now he's
Tech.
got little bro on his
Yeah,
receiving core.
ooh, yeah, it
Yeah,
continues in the family over there. So that's
yeah, they're
exciting.
electric.
But North Augusta and Lower State having a good start to the year.
Hmm.
Um, EC Flora, I believe, is Upper State now. They're
Yeah, they
fourth.
are.
Camden is fifth. Um, But
Gray's
yeah,
in
I mean,
there.
it looks like Bishop England so far has only played one game, but they're looking like potentially the class to region alongside of Bluffton or even a May River Hilton Head. So I'm excited to see what Bishop England can keep this up, and then Bluffton. Can they back up the where they are right now and uh,
Yeah,
perform well against the
they
Big
look
Country
good.
Day?
They look
Yep,
good. This would be a big
would.
hurdle for them, big test because this was a team that tripped them up last year.
Yeah, and I
I think
expect to be a
that
lot closer. Mm,
Yeah, I think that game was an anomaly. I really do. I don't. I think it was just one of those games where they didn't get off the bus, so to
Yep.
speak, and it got away from them quickly. Um, and snowball was rolling downhill, and they just couldn't stop it. So I expect them to come out and show well in that game. But it'll be a battle. That'll be a good football team. Best one they've played yet for sure. But yeah, some good games on the slate. Philip Simmons at Buford, Savannah
Yeah, I
Country Day
mean,
at
it's just
Bluffton.
crazy to see those 2 teams where they are right now. Both
Philip
teams were
Simmons and Buford both
yeah,
0-2 is wild.
yeah,
Yeah,
that is crazy, but it should be a competitive game, and it's one that both teams need, in my opinion,
yeah.
and Buford more so just because of the home team, and uh, now they're banged up. They lost a couple guys, which is going to make it a little tougher. But this is important. You don't want to especially after last year. You do not want to start 0-3 here in
No,
2025.
no.
This is one you'd really want to have.
Well, that's when you start losing some of those guys that are, maybe not getting a lot of playing time and practice sucks and maybe they don't want to play after all. So you don't want to stare at 0-3. That's a tough place to be. So a lot on the line there. Bunch of good games though. A weird schedule, just a
Yeah,
lot of out of area games, matchups that don't that there's no familiarity there. But we do have Whale Branch Ridgeland, which should be good. Bethesda JP2, I'm interested
yeah.
in that one. Like you said, BA Patrick Henry, that looks kind of like a mismatch, but those Patrick Henry boys will show up and fight. You can bet on that. So we got some good ones on hand. I do have one piece of news that we have not reported yet here on the show, but we have an AD in the Ville, and we also have a soccer coach
We
in the Ville, and
do.
he's got a ring. And he's part of Team Loco. Um,
Ooh.
Misa B, the AD in the Ville. Misael Garzon is my coworker now. Been seeing
Yes.
him at school this week. Saw him on the sidelines Friday in that beautiful orange polo, Nike with the Ville on it. So yeah,
What a get for the
um,
Canes.
it's quite
Tremendous.
a coup.
Yeah.
I'm excited
Yeah.
to work under Misa as the softball coach and assistant wrestling coach and assistant cross country coach, um,
You know,
and
he
whatever else
he
he needs me to be. It's a
he has been a
team
supporter
effort.
of Loco Sports since day one of this podcast,
Day
and
one.
he wanted to get into this thing right away, and we've had him report on everything under the sun here, and I expect him to continue to be that. Obviously he's wearing a different hat now. I mean, he's wearing multiple hats, soccer
Yeah.
and athletic director, so he's gonna be very busy. But we'll definitely would love to talk to him from time to time, and
Oh yeah.
I think they're building quite a team over there with yourself, Bracken Lambert, Misael Grazon, so many
Jeff Riley.
components, yeah, components of Team Loco scattered around
Yeah.
over Harleyville. So
And Jeremy
that's really
Orr
cool.
is also an intern for us
Yeah,
at the high school.
that's
So
pretty cool. What's building over there in the Ville? There's a lot of
yeah, man.
tremendous people working.
El Presidente, Blake Rayleigh, bringing the Infinity Stones together. You got me, and I started bringing everybody home. So,
Yeah,
no, it's good times. It's good times. We're excited about Misa. He's got big plans, and at the same time that the state is coming in and cleaning up our finances and our processes and allocating the money where it needs to be allocated. It's good to know that we have. A really bulldog leader in there,
yes,
who knows. He's a Jasper County native. He lives in Ridgeland. He ran for office in Jasper County. He's
great.
familiar with the people and the players, and so it's really like you said, it's kind of a power move.
Yeah,
Getting him from assistant
right from a
AD
4A
and
school. Yeah,
boys soccer coach at May River, where he
a
had a
school where he won a
well-oiled
state championship.
machine.
Yeah,
Yeah, and bringing him home to Jasper, it says a lot about him as a person. I mean, that was really the thing that drew him. Was he feels like the kids in
yep,
Jasper need him, and it's an opportunity that he couldn't pass up. So
yep, sure.
super excited,
Yeah,
super
that's
super excited.
fantastic. Terrific accomplishment. Just he's been someone he's been such a go getter and really
Oh yeah,
uh, stays true to what he does.
yeah,
Hard worker, determined guy, rubs off on his team, and I'm really excited for the future of that soccer program. And um, also conversely, I think Bay River is going to get a good hire on for that boys soccer program as well, and that should
yeah.
attract some.
And I'm sure I haven't talked to him, but I'm sure Misa probably made a recommendation. He's
Yeah,
probably got somebody in mind for that, and maybe it's Mikey Chapelier. That might make sense.
That
Um,
might
that
be
just popped to my mind. He's
possibility.
got his drip FC thing going
Yep.
and his training thing. I don't know that he's looking for a high school coaching gig, which is the juice is not necessarily worth the squeeze. It's a lot of work if you're making a lot of money training people on the side. But that would make a lot of sense. But
Yep.
I'll have to pick Misa's brain about that and see what he thinks about where they're going to go with that. But I will go on record that Misa's going to get him another ring this year. I feel really confident about the guys we have back in
I
Hardyville
do too. A
at the
team
1A
that
level.
got to the state championship match and
Yep.
really for a good part of that match was they were the better team, but just didn't go
Yeah.
their way. And
Yeah.
from yeah, so
Yeah, it was a rough result, but I feel really good about where those, about the guys
yep.
we have back and the new guys.
Hopefully they
I
won't
just met a
play like
new.
a 2 o'clock match on a Tuesday and they'll actually play on a
Well,
weekend so I can come and
1A
see it.
gets the short straw on that, I think. But no, I just met a new kid today who came over from May River who played for Misa last year. So
Nice.
and I think Misa's just exactly the guy that those young men need in their life too. So many of basically our whole soccer team is Latino, and to have such a strong role model who grew up where they grew up, um, from their community is going to be awesome. I think it's going to help them develop as whole men. So definitely looking forward to that, and that is big news. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
big time.
like you said, it's a seismic
Shift. Yep.
move. I'm pumped about it, and it's just cool to see my friend at
Yep.
work every day. Another one of my friends.
Yeah.
So anyway, that brings us near to the end here. So shout out to Reverence Wrestling Club, our official wrestling sponsor and presenting sponsor of the Loco Grind. The wrestlers are grinding it out right now. It's open season for winter sports, so the hoopers and the wrestlers are getting after it. And shout out to Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. You might bump into friends like Tony O'Banner, or one time saw him cutting the grass today. Speaking of
Yep.
low-cost celebrities who work at the school. All right, that brings us to parting thoughts. Wes Kerr, what you got, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, great to talk with Coach Bowden, and really pumped to see what will happen. It's a I just looking back on the years I've been here at USCB. When I started calling games, we were NAIA Sun Conference. I mean, this
Right.
was much different. You saw the seeds being planted, but the competition was a lot different, and now to see it full, or at least to see the full journey from NAIA to now, where tomorrow is this opening day of being fully entrenched in Division II Peach Belt play and Division II sports. It's got to feel good for me just to be a part of this whole journey, but just really proud of Gina Motford, who has just done such an amazing job in this process. She, and being able to work with her um, has been such a pleasure and a joy. And that entire staff has just done a tremendous job, and just wanted to give them all the kudos and congratulations on a job well done throughout this entire process.
Speaking of which, have we broken that news on the show? I don't know
Is
that
it
we have. That Francis Marion has named its new AD, and it's Quinn Monahan. So Quinn Monahan will be departing USCB after his 13-year tenure, and heading to Francis
and
Marion
he
just
has
up the
done
road.
just a phenomenal job
Yeah, I
overseeing
mean
this
he
entire process.
saw him through
Having the
to
vision,
D2.
having the vision for this 15 or 13, 15 years ago, however long it was, and now seeing it to where it is now. I mean, you could not have gotten there without his hard work and the work of everyone. And I think he said the best way you could back. It was back when they unveiled the new arena, or the potential arena that will be
Mhm.
a couple weeks ago in the summer, and he said that everyone who has supported USCB, everyone who has been a coach, a supporter, etc., has played a role in making this possible. And I really think that's true. Just the community support they've gotten, the support from all the athletes, coaches, trainers. It takes everyone to help further that process and to see where it is now. To see I mean, I just remember seeing just the adrenaline, the thrill I had seeing that first basketball game a couple of seasons ago. It's kind of has that same energy because like this is historic. This is
Yeah.
a bit realization of something that you were dreaming towards for a long time, and
Oh
and
yeah.
now the Sand Sharks are a D2 school, and that's very exciting. So just wanted to give a big shout out and of course well wishes as well to Quinn Monahan who helped
Oh
me
yeah.
on board with working for the Sand Sharks. So
Yeah. Yeah.
thank him for everything and wish him all the best, and looking forward to tomorrow. It's going to be a great ride going forward over there at USCB. On a different note, I guess you'd say on a downward note, because there were a lot of people that were upset with this piece of news, and um, it's it's something that will drive a lot of people angry. I'm talking about football fans across the country, um, because NFL Red Zone, which has
Oh yeah.
been the premier way to catch every NFL game on the Sunday slate, the early slate and the late slate, uh,
Hmm.
without commercial free for 7 hours. That
Right.
will be no more. NFL Red Zone will show commercials starting this year. So Scott Hansen will no longer be able to say his signature phrase uh,
Right.
at 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoons anymore. There will be commercials on NFL Red Zone, and with ESPN entering the fray, obviously that looks like Scott Hansen will continue to be the host of NFL Red Zone, but certainly it will look no longer ad free. So a lot of NFL
Mhm.
fans unhappy about that news.
Yeah, it stinks, but I mean, I get it. It's like, why did they ever offer it ad free though? You knew you were going to
You,
eventually introduce
I mean,
ads.
it felt like it was inevitable, but still,
Yeah.
the length that they were able to
Yeah.
just go game between or but let me see how frequent the ads are because there are points
Yeah. Well,
where
and how they present them, because
there
like
are times
there's a way that you
where
can have the
especially like
ad
at half
pop
times
up,
of like
but
1 o'clock slate when there's not much going on, and there are different times. I'm not
there are
sure
some
when or where
downtimes.
they will deploy the
Yeah.
ads, but there are definitely times where there is not much action, even with 12 games going on. There will be time
Right.
where it doesn't disrupt the flow of like maybe
Right.
you miss one play, but then they'll probably go back to it right after the ad break. So
Right,
yeah,
exactly. They'll be like, while we were gone, and then you'll see
yeah,
it plausibly live. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to impact the experience all that much because, like you said, if they are sensible about when they insert them, like if they just start throwing them in when
yeah,
there's three teams in the red zone, that's going to be a mess. But yeah, we literally just talked about it, Bo. Literally just now, a few minutes ago. It is great news.
yeah,
It is
yeah,
wonderful, great news. We talked about it at length,
yeah,
Mr. Blaine. But yeah, so rewind, just rewind it a little bit. Not
yeah,
that far either, like just a little bit, like 10 minutes or so. Um, and then for my parting thought, I was going to shout out some of the guys. You know, we published a little while back the list of all the D1 guys, and I'm still
yep,
working on. I got a D2 list together that I think is mostly complete. D3 and beyond is a wild west situation, so we're gonna have to solicit those. But I did want to shout out some of the FBS guys who made an impact on Saturday. Colton Ferris at App State he started at linebacker, had 5 tackles, 3 solo. Xavier Chaplin starting on the offensive line for Auburn. They had 307 team rush yards, 5.9 per carry, so he did his job, you would presume. Um, Jeremiah Orr, blast from the past,
mm,
redshirt senior at Jacksonville State
yeah,
now from Ridgeland Hardyville. He was on the starting offensive line. They had 322 total yards and only allowed 2 sacks against UCF, lost 17-10. Pretty good showing. Jalen Sneed, of course, Notre Dame, started at linebacker, had 3 tackles and 1 solo. Couple of guys got in the game but didn't really register any stats. Chris Marable Jr. at Boston College on the D line, and DeAndre Boykins, a Beaufort native at Oklahoma State. And then Iman Smalls, Beaufort guy at UAB, started on the D-line, had 4 tackles. In the FCS ranks, we had Preston Hamilton, another blast from the past. Thomas Hayward guy. He's at East Texas A&M. He had a couple of tackles, including a solo. KJ Chisholm started at DB for Jackson State, had 2 tackles, which you don't want a lot of tackles out there. 147 team pass yards allowed, so they shut down. There was no fly zone in the secondary. Jackson Lanier got in the game for Morehead State. Zion Dobson got in the game for NC Central. Lushawn Campos from Colleton County got in the game for Charleston Southern. Kayvon Chisholm started at D-line on the D-line for SC State, had 2 solo tackles, a tackle for loss, a sack, and 2 quarterback hurries. So there you go. Loco guys showing out first weekend of
love it.
College football.
Yeah, and I love how you shout some of those other guys who you kind of forgot about who are still doing it. That's it's always fun to remember some names of guys who are still playing ball.
That's my favorite part about the project is seeing that some of those guys are still getting it done. That's it's very cool. But yeah, that's all I got. You got anything else?
No, that's
all right, that's a wrap on a Wednesday show. We got you ready for Sand Sharks soccer season kicking off tomorrow, 1:00 at Finland Field, or you can watch it on the Sand Shark Game Day Network on the Peach Belt app or on uscbathletics.com. And Wes will be on the call. You got a partner in crime on this?
I think I'm flying solo for this one, but I potentially have some other guys that could join us as the season goes along. So keep an eye out for that. But should be a good opener, and I expect them to be ready for this one. I expect it to be a good game. I think they'll get it done. I think we'll get it done. Maybe a 1-0 victory.
I like Coach's energy. Yep. I like his philosophy, and it just sounds like the transition has gone really smoothly. Like that everybody is bought in and vibing. So I feel really good about it. Hope springs eternal on the night before the season starts, right? But
there was nothing like it. Nothing like it.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. All right. Well, thanks so much to Gary Boughton. Good luck to Coach and the Sand Sharks tomorrow. Thanks to all of our sponsors, especially Mickelson Law Firm and WHHI TV, our all-star sponsors. And thanks so much to you for showing up to listen or watch. Let your mama and them know about the Loco Sports Lowdown. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to see you. And we'll see you next time. Tomorrow night, we'll be previewing high school football games, Loco Pigskin Preview coming at you on the Loco Media Network. Until then, for Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. Go Loco.